There's a new artist coming to the Premier League and he's about to paint his masterpiece. His name is Rayan Cherki, and if you don't know him yet, you're about to. So what makes this 21-year-old from Lyon so special? How's his unique brand of genius supposed to translate to the most demanding league in the world? We're going to break down the story, the stats and the unbelievable skills of the man who is set to take English football by storm. To understand the player, you have to understand the place. Rayan Cherki isn't just from Lyon. In many ways, he is Lyon. Born in the city, he joined the Olympique Lyonnais Academy in 2010, the same famed institution that gave the world Karim Benzema, Hatem Ben Arfa, and Alexander Lacazette. He was a prodigy who made his debut for the club's reserves at just 15 years old, immediately turning heads. This wasn't just a flash in the pan. It was the announcement of a rare, precocious talent. By the time he turned 21, Cherki had already played 185 games for his boyhood club. In his final season alone, he was directly involved in a staggering 32 goals, scoring 12 and assisting a massive 20. He wasn't just a player for Lyon, he was their crown jewel, the living embodiment of their creative footballing philosophy. But a secret this good couldn't be kept in France forever. In June 2025, the rest of Europe was put on notice, making his senior debut for the French national team in a chaotic Nations League semi-final against Spain. Cherki came off the bench and scored a goal so stunning, so audacious, that it sent shockwaves through the sport. It was a moment that confirmed what many already suspected. Rayan Cherki was not just a prospect, he was an inevitability, and the biggest clubs in the world were all watching. So what does he actually do on a football pitch? To put it simply, Rayan Cherki is a creator. He's an attacking midfielder by trade, but has the fluid versatility to drift across the entire front line, a phantom looking for space where none exists. His greatest asset is his mind, his vision to see passes that other players can't even dream of. He is a risk taker, an artist who would rather try for the sublime than settle for the simple. He's also a phenomenal ball carrier, blessed with a low center of gravity and the kind of magnetic close control that makes the ball look glued to his feet. But perhaps his most unique weapon is his ambidexterity. Cherki is genuinely two-footed, able to pass, shoot and dribble with either foot so effectively that it's often impossible to tell which is his natural side. This makes him a nightmare for defenders. Force him one way and he'll gladly go the other, equally dangerous and equally capable of producing a moment of magic. Of course, what's the catch? For years, the main criticism levelled at Cherki has been his work rate off the ball. His defensive contribution has been questioned, with analysts pointing to a perceived lack of intensity when his team doesn't have possession. It's a valid concern, especially for a player making a £34 million move to the most physically demanding league in the world. This isn't Ligue 1 anymore. This is the Premier League. And more importantly, this is Pep Guardiola's Manchester City. Manchester City didn't just buy Rayan Cherki because he's a talented player. They bought him because they needed him. After a disappointing campaign by their own sky-high standards, the departure of the legendary Kevin De Bruyne left a creative black hole in the heart of their team. City needed a refresh. They needed a new spark, a new source of ingenuity. Their transfer strategy has clearly shifted towards acquiring elite young talents with a massive upside. And Cherki was at the very top of their list. For an initial fee of around €36 million or £34 million, City secured their man on a 5-year contract. It was a statement signing. This wasn't just about replacing De Bruyne with another body. It was about finding a player with a completely different, unpredictable skill set. A player who could unlock the stubborn, low-block defences that have stifled City at times. They weren't just buying a player for today, they were investing in an artist for the next 5 years. The single most important factor in whether Cherki succeeds or fails is Pep Guardiola. The deal was reportedly sealed after a direct conversation between the manager and the player. Cherki later said, "When I spoke with Pep, he wanted me. He was very, very clear. We spoke about what I enjoy when I'm on the pitch." Guardiola doesn't just sign flair players, he elevates them. He loves intelligent footballers who treat the ball with respect, and Cherki fits that mould perfectly. But Pep demands more. He demands tactical discipline and, most importantly, he demands work. That supposed weakness in Cherki's defensive game, it's the first thing Guardiola will address. Reports have already surfaced from City's pre-season training of Pep in animated discussions with Cherki, urging him to be quicker with his reactions and to work harder to regain possession. This is the Guardiola process. There are no passengers. This is the challenge that will forge Cherki's raw potential into elite performance. Guardiola will look to harness his free-form creativity while instilling the relentless work ethic required to thrive in his system. It's a challenge Cherki seems ready for. "This is a dream for me," he said upon signing. "I've worked so hard for this all my life. I can't wait to develop further here in Manchester with Pep and his backroom staff." City's director of football put it even more bluntly. There's no doubt that he's now in the best place possible to develop further under Pep's guidance. The stage is set. The transfer is complete. The manager is on board, and the City is waiting to be mesmerised. But the Premier League is a brutal, unforgiving environment. It has a nasty habit of chewing up and spitting out talented players who can't handle the pace, the physicality, and the suffocating pressure. Cherki arrives with immense expectations on his shoulders. He isn't just another new signing. He's the creative successor to a club icon and a key piece of a multi-million-pound rebuild. The pressure is intense, but so is the ambition. This is a player who, when asked about his career goals as a teenager, replied, "To win the Champions League and the Ballon d'Or." He is not coming to England to be just another player. He is coming to dominate. He has the technical skill, the vision, and the self-belief to do it. The real question is whether he can adapt, whether he can add the defensive grit and tactical discipline that Guardiola will demand from him. Can his frame handle the weekly battles against bigger, stronger opponents? Can he translate his flashes of individual brilliance into the consistent, match-winning output that defines a world-class player? This is the ultimate test. It's a meeting of prodigious, untamed talent with the most demanding coach in world football. The result could be explosive. It could redefine Manchester City's attack and set the Premier League alight for years to come. So what do you think? Is Rayan Cherki the heir to Kevin De Bruyne's throne, or will the demands of the Premier League prove to be too much? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you want more deep dives into the future stars of football, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Manchester City hasn't just signed a footballer, they've commissioned a work of art. Rayan Cherki is a player of pure, unadulterated creativity, a throwback to the street footballers who play with joy and wild imagination. His journey from the academy fields of Lyon to the Etihad Stadium is a testament to his singular talent. Now he stands before his blank canvas, the English Premier League. The stage is his. The only question left is, what kind of masterpiece will he create?